Should you buy Divinity Original Sin 2? The answer is yes, definitely. Divinity Original Sin 2 is an isometric RPG, part of the resurgence of the genre that happened after Pillars of Eternity. It is also quite obviously the continuation of Divinity Original Sin 1, but it is also a significant improvement. I personally actually dislike Divinity Original Sin 1. I didn't like the style of storytelling, and I even refunded it. That being said, I am loving Divinity Original Sin 2. I already have 60 hours in it, and I'm like halfway through the game. This is how much content this offers, and I am a slow player. I do tend to explore everything and speak to everyone and so on, but still it is far more content than I actually expected it to have, and also it is fully voice acted. Every character you speak to is voice acted, which is quite impressive. Now, the storytelling is quite good, deep, interesting, and keeps you interested. Also, the game does funny and dark very well, so you have a variety of tones depending on the situation, location, and characters you interact with. There are even some very dark ones, and they are done quite well. As for your character and your companions, the game gives you a choice at the start. You can create your own character or select one of the provided ones and modify it if you want. If you select one of the pre-made characters, you also inherit their story. You get the backstory of that character, which is quite interesting, and if you do not choose one of them, they become NPCs in the world. So if you don't play as them, they will still appear there and be possible companions. Now, for the combat, it is quite challenging, dynamic, and highly tactical. I have loaded this particular save game to show you one thing. Also, I should probably mention that there is a variety of possible classes. Actually, there are no set classes. You have to kind of design them yourself, but you can respec yourself and all your companions at any point after you complete the tutorial part of the game, which is quite nice, refreshing, and convenient, and lets you enjoy the game in a variety of ways. For example, you get bored of your default setup and your default companion setup, then you can respec all of them. In this particular save game, I have respec all my characters to be wizard summoners. Well, so that's conjurer, I think, and infiltrated a mercenary camp that I intend to slaughter. Then I used a harmless rain spell to cover all this land with water. Why? Well, because surfaces do matter in the game, and this is what makes it highly tactical. Now, the water is harmless, but I can use a spell to turn it to poison, and it will actually start damaging all the characters. But as the rain spell was harmless, and this one that I just cast affected the surface and not the characters, they still don't know it was me. Now, if I want to, I can just ignite this to start the fight. Or I could also not do that. Now we have started the fight. And there's gonna be fire everywhere. And all these characters that we have just attacked, well, all their friends that are scattered around the camp, will have to go through all that terrain, through all that fire, and get burned on their way to meet us. There is teleportation. You can swap characters around. For example, this person's snake root has come up onto our tower. I can just send her flying into the fire. There's summoning, and there is quite a variety of options, but I'm not going to show you a full combat. We don't have time for that, but you can see that in my first impressions video that I've made a while ago. All in all, let's go to conclusions. The game offers a deep, engaging, and very long story, lots of content. It's very pleasing in terms of sound. Music is wonderful, voice acting everywhere, challenging, deep, and dynamic. Well, the story is deep and the combat is challenging and dynamic. Also offers you a lot of freedom in approaching your quests. Also, as far as I know, there are no unkillable characters. You can just slaughter everyone if you want to. The world will adapt. What else? There is a Game Master mode. I haven't tried it yet, but I hear good things. And yeah, definitely pick this up. As for value, this game costs $45, 45 euros, or your original equivalent, which might be quite high, but it is understandable because it was just released and it is a huge amount of content. As I said, I'm a slow player, but I'm only halfway through at 60 hours. And you will definitely get your money's worth for that, I believe. If money's tight, you can wait for a discount. There will probably be a very small one at Christmas, because there usually is. And Divinity Original Sin 1 is a 2-year-old game, and it had been discounted as much as minus 60%. So if money is tight and you are not eager to play at the moment, you might want to wait for a sale, but be warned that it will probably not come too soon, since this is a new game. And a great one at that. I haven't had this much fun with an RPG since Tyranny released. Tyranny had a little bit more compelling story, in my opinion, but it was also shorter and had less interesting combat. So yeah, that's about it about Divinity Original Sin 2. I highly recommend you pick it up. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.